Okay, this is Mike from Lecommute Auto Body. Today I'm teaching a class for the high school, and this is my student, Christian Riker, excuse me. Yeah, Riker. Anyway, so he's going to help me out on this RZR 800 that I have, and we'll show you how to remove just the motor, not all the assembly with it. So let's come on over and take a look. Go ahead and head on over there. So, most videos I've been watching on YouTube, this is going to piggyback off of those. What I've seen in other videos is they'll show how to yank a motor, but they always yank all this whole assembly along with it. They'll pull all the axles, shafts, and the drive line down below, and it really is not necessary. I mean, once you get to this point, which everybody gets to, all you really have to do is, you see the mounting bolts where it mounts to the transaxle, to the motor. All you do is, if you'll come down and we'll show you. So all you have to do is take 6 bolts loose on the pan right there. And then we will show you where the 2 mounts are on the bottom. So you just undo those 2 bolts on the bottom. Go ahead and come back up. And then, of course, pretty obvious, you remove the mount on the front. And once you've done that, you can hook up and you can just latch onto the motor and pull it right out of this area here. And that should, and we'll go ahead and continue in our next segment. I guess go ahead and start filming. Done? Okay, so I'm going to have him undo this mount while I'm explaining why we're taking the motor out in the first place. So I'd already had the motor out before, and it had a bottom end knock of some type. Really, after getting it apart, I never really found exactly what it was. It was kind of bewildering. But I figured if I was going to rebuild the motor, I ended up buying a bore stroker kit from Kalama, and that's why this section here looks different than the rest of it. So this was in a previous rebuild. I ended up putting my old cam in because it mic'd out okay, and it ran for quite a while and did okay. The side-by-side sat for quite a while, and one day my son and I decided to take it out for a little cruise around in the snow around town, and when I got back I realized that there was no oil pressure. The relief valve had stuck, and there was no oil pressure. Now, there was no sounds. I didn't hear any sounds coming from the lifter. There was no indication of that other than I had an oil pressure gauge, which, if anybody needs to find out where to hook the oil pressure gauge, go ahead and pan over here. If you can, let's get a light. Where's that light at? You want to hook up an oil pressure gauge. There's a fitting right here, and you can just place your fittings in there just like any other oil pressure gauge, okay? So, my bad for not keeping track of my oil pressure. It is very wise to do that because these things are notorious for having the, let's have you come around. Come around. So the oil pressure relief valve is this right here. Now I've replaced it with a different one. It's nothing more than a pop it, a little piston with a spring on top, and the spring regulates it. When you get too much oil pressure, it'll bypass the oil. I'm sure you've seen that in other videos. Other videos have showed that it is a problem. I've put this on here. Now, I bought this one off online. I would not suggest this one. All I did was I tightened it down and it snapped off inside the block. But the good thing with this one is at least you can see that I can grab a hold of this and be able to keep it loose. Whereas that was what the problem was with the original, was you can't hardly get the poppet out when it's stuck. So I'm suspicioning that the no oil pressure was what made my cam go flat on one of the lobes. So once I get this motor out, I'm going to be attempting to take the cam out of the block without taking the top end off, hopefully. We'll see how that goes. That'll be another video. Go ahead, pull the plate. So we pulled the plate that connects the top mount to the transaxle here. One other thing I wanted to point out that a lot of people don't point out is you have wiring here that is kind of hidden, and to unplug it, it's not all that bad. All you do is you pull up on this, and once you've given a little bit of relief, you can go down from underneath and pull the other side from underneath, and it usually will unplug it pretty easily. There's also a second plug that you have to do. Go ahead and photograph down over here. This is for your sensor for the tone wheel for your spark. Let's see here. See, there's the plug that I was just talking about. Here's the other plug. It goes up down here to this. All you do is you just lift up this, and you just lift that up, and then they unplug. Okay, so we're undoing that front mount, and after this, we're all hooked up, and it should come out after this. Okay, while he's undoing that mount, why don't I have you come over here? Oh, there goes the compressor, of course. Okay, so one of the things I did want to clue you into too. So to pull the primary clutch, I know there's been other people posted. Normally you'll use a tool like this, but this one's too long to fit in there, and I'm sure you've seen it maybe in other videos. So they buy another shorter one of these. Well, I didn't have one, so I just wanted to show you kind of using stuff that you have around the shop possibly. This is a steering wheel puller that you might have, and this thread is a pretty common one amongst these pullers, as you can see. And all I did was I just used a 12 millimeter deep socket, and you feed that down. You feed that down so that the hex part is down on the shaft, on the crankshaft, and then you feed this down, and it just twists out. It just twists in there and does the same thing as that tool right there and pops it loose. Thought it worth mentioning anyway. Go on back over and see what he's doing.
I don't know how to get this thing off. There's these two and then there's that.
Well, just those two right there should do it. That's right. So I've just bending this to the side. Just took a little bit of manipulating around here. So go ahead. This is just kind of loose on here right now. Go ahead, keep cranking it. Manipulate it around. Okay, well then let's go ahead. Take this loose.
Yeah.
Move it aside. Okay. Take that off. Now go ahead. Let's crank it up. I've got some room. And now it's sitting over there, it's hitting over here. Go ahead, crank it again. Yeah, you know what is in the way there? Okay. Keep coming, keep coming. Keep coming. Okay, so that's good enough for the time being. I'll just leave it right there. Let's take the jack stands out. Go ahead. Okay. Now. So all I did was I just used a couple of strap hooks, as you can see. They're nice and padded so it doesn't damage the surface here, and just strapped on there. Anyway,
How you do it?
and that's how you do it. You guys just watch the other videos and just fill this part in. Signing off from Lucky Mute Auto Body and Fall City High School class. We'll see you later.